Welcome back to my channel, guys. Next in food, today I'm very excited to show you another one of my favorite Jamaican comfort food, and this time this dish is called pickled salt mackerel. Basically what it is sauteed mackerel with tomatoes, bell peppers, scotch bonnet pepper, onion, and so on. Now for the salt mackerel, I went ahead and I soak it overnight, and then I bring it to a boil for 2 minutes. I took all the bones out and then soak it again for about 10 more minutes just to make sure that the salt level is tolerable. So now let's make some salt mackerel. For that, you are going to need some chopped tomatoes. You will also need some chopped bell peppers. You need some good old scotch bonnet pepper, some chopped onion, a clove of garlic, some fresh thyme, and of course, the star, salt mackerel. Look at that. This has been boned out. It has no bones in it. I took out all the bones and take off all the skin. You will need some vinegar because I'm calling this pickled mackerel. I like the vinegar taste against the strong flavor of the salt mackerel. You will also need some oil, and I'm using about a 1/4 cup of oil. Salt mackerel is usually eaten as breakfast in Jamaica, and we do it two ways. We do it in a mackerel rundown. You can look at the previous video that I did for mackerel rundown, and we do it for what I'm referring to as a pickled mackerel. Now, this is something that we eat with what we call boiled food or boiled ground provision like soft yam or roasted breadfruit. We also have it with boiled dumpling. It is a favorite Jamaican breakfast dish. So I'm very excited to show you how it is done. So I have my oil on, and I'm going to start by sauteing my tomatoes. I'm going to add the tomatoes, bell peppers, the onion. You want to allow this to cook for 2 minutes because you don't want to cook out all of the tomatoes. You want to make sure that at the end of the cooking you still have the tomatoes a little bit firm, so you don't want to cook them to a mush. So I just added the thyme. I like to add just the leaf of the thyme just to give it that nice aroma. And we're going to let this saute for a few minutes. And of course, you know, saute means to jump, so you just move it around. If you can't move it around like that, you just take a spoon like this and just move it around. And we want to cook that just for 2 minutes just to soften the tomatoes, the peppers, and the onions. Alright, so you want to season all the parts of the dish. So even though it is salt mackerel, it's very important that you season these vegetables, and I just added some salt. Time now to add the star of the show, the salt mackerel. Again, this mackerel was soaked and boiled. You don't want to boil it for long because if you boil it for long, it's going to be tough. So I boiled it. I bring the water to a boil and then added the mackerel in, and I just let it boil for literally 2 minutes. After which I take it out and put it in cold water. And then I take the skin off, and I also take all the bones out. Now for the pickled mackerel, I like to do it this way. I don't like to keep the bones in it, and this is how my family love it. And this is great with boiled green bananas. Our pickled mackerel is almost ready, so I'm going to add some cracked pepper. You can add as much pepper as you like or as little. Okay, I think that's enough pepper. So it's basically combining the flavors. And then I like to add my little touch. This is why I call it a pickled mackerel, some white vinegar. The white vinegar gives it some acidity, you know, that just takes it over the top. I really love the white vinegar flavor. The tomatoes are sweet and the vinegar is a little sour. The peppers are spicy. The onions are savory. This is a simple dish, but it is something that us Jamaicans we absolutely love. And this is our pickled mackerel. That's all it is. It's done. I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to plate it up for you to see. So in my container here, I'm just going to spoon the pickled mackerel in. And we didn't add any water to it. It's just the leftover juice from the mackerel and of course that lovely juice from the tomatoes. So this is the pickled mackerel. I do hope you try this recipe. Let me just clean the plate off. Try this recipe today. Pickled mackerel and banana, pickled mackerel and roast breadfruit, pickled mackerel and boiled salt Sylvanson yam, pickled mackerel and yellow yam. It's a Jamaican thing. Pickled mackerel and boiled dumpling. The finished pickled mackerel looks like. The tomatoes, they're still firm but cooked. Our bell pepper is cooked. Pickled mackerel is getting a moment. I do hope you enjoy this video. Please remember to subscribe if you have not yet done so. Like and share this video. Leave a comment down below. We would love to hear from you. You will